opportunity to work with departments. I've worked for the MIS team and the exams team, which I've really enjoyed because it's quite interesting to see how other people work and the different sorts of things that the different departments do. I get to go to all the different sites. Recently, I've been to the Plumstead campus that I've never been to before to help with our first hair professional EPA, which was really exciting. Before I was going to do an apprenticeship, I was actually planning to go to uni, but I'm really glad that I decided to do my apprenticeship with LSEC because I've gained valuable experience in the working world. I'm earning while learning, which is great. And I've been supported from the very beginning, not just from members of the team, but also from my skills coach. Whenever I've been stuck with any college work, she sets up Teams calls and answers all the questions that I have. And in the future, I'd really love to continue working with LSEC because I've just had a really great experience and I really think I could progress. And yeah, I would just really recommend an apprenticeship to anyone, to be honest.
Thank you, Rihanna. That was fantastic. And I didn't prime you to say any of that at all, did I? So she's been an absolute treasure to us. And I have to say, she's an absolutely fantastic team member. And it is great as having her working as part of our environment within LSEC. So next to our Rihanna, if I go next forward on, I'd like to welcome from the Berkeley group. We got our next presenter there. Can you just...
Hi there, it's
Hi
Chrissy.
there. Hi, Chrissy. Could you just unmute? You have unmute yourself. Just let me know when you want me to forward your slides. That would be brilliant, and we will go from there.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Great to see you all on the screens. My name's Kristin Sharkey, also known as Chrissy, and I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator for Berkeley Homes East Thames. And for any of you that don't know, Berkeley Homes East Thames is a construction company. If you want to move the slide on.
Okay.
And today I'm going to give you an outline of why we need apprenticeships in our industry and our company. So we have 3 sites that I'm involved with in Greenwich, and one of them is the Royal Arsenal Riverside. Some little facts. I'm going to give you some facts about each one, so you're not just looking at pictures of buildings. But the Royal Arsenal Riverside is actually 23 listed buildings mixed with modern architecture. It's London's biggest brownfield site, covering 88 acres. It's almost 5,000 new homes, of which 25% is what's called affordable homes or affordable living homes. So that means that they're offered, it could be that it's part buy, part rent rather than just private ownership. We've also got 165 what they call senior living homes, which are for over 55-year-olds, which I know to you guys must seem really old, but to me it doesn't. And then it's actually got 700,000 square foot of commercial space. So it's not just residential for people to live in. What we class as commercial space is things like supermarkets, other shops, offices, could be other businesses filling it, but it's not for people to live in. So it's actually, it's not just about construction for people to live in, but also to work in as well. We also have Kidbrit Village. Now this one is construction started in 2009 and is due to go on to 2032. So we've still got 10 years of construction left on this site. At the moment, we're looking at a total of 3,338 homes for people to live in. So it's quite a large number, of which 2,273 are currently occupied. So we've got about another just under 1,000 to build. Okay, and this one is a mixture again of leisure and retail and residential. However, this one has a lot larger green space, and if any of you have ever been to Kidbrit, you'll know that there's quite a lot of parkland area there. And finally, the ones that some of you may know if you're on the Plumstead campus is our new development, Plumstead and West Thamesmead. Now that picture there is actually a mock-up, because if you have seen it, you'll know that it's actually just a load of earthworks. It's between, you know, the McDonald's on the Plumstead roundabout and the prison, that big area where there's lots of roadworks at the moment for those of you local. If you've been stuck in the traffic, I'm really sorry, but that's because we're putting the pipes in for the water and the utilities. So sorry if you've been stuck in that. So that's another one of our developments, and that's working with another construction company called Peabody, and that's going to have approximately 1,800 homes on that one. So that gives you an idea of 3 of the sites that are within the Berkeley Homes portfolio here in Greenwich. If you want to move the slide on, please, Deborah.
There you go.
Thank you. So I thought I'd talk to you about our vision. So this was created in 2010, but it's a long-term strategy to help us guide our business, and therefore we called it our vision. There's 10 parts to it, or 10 priorities. As you can see, they're listed there, and they differ between things like customers and quality and communities, things like future skills, supply chain, and shared value. I'm actually, as my job title, I'm very much involved with the communities aspect. And what that does is it guides us to make sure that we're transforming underused land into unique, well-connected and welcoming places. So my job is very much about bringing communities together, and whether that's with residents, potential residents, and the wider community, things like school groups, colleges, etc. So this is talking to you as part of my role. So it's quite a varied number of skills within the construction industry, not just the traditional bricklaying that you may think of and some of the other more traditional ones. Our future skills priority is to equip our people with the skills they need, both for now and the future, enhancing social mobility and inspiring new talent to join the industry. That means you guys and girls. So again, we're very much focused on our staff and potential staff, and giving them the skills they need, not just for the job they're doing now, but what they might like to do on their career paths as well. Okay, if you'd like to move on. Okay, so this is about developing the construction industry. We work very closely with the Royal Borough of Greenwich to help people into employment, and we've done that for a number of years. One of the things that you may have heard on the news is that the construction industry is facing a real skill shortage, and with an ageing workforce, we're not seeing as many young people join the construction industry. Actually, young skilled labour entering the industry is actually at its lowest level. And recent survey conducted by YouGov showed that only 3% of young people aged between 18 and 24 have searched for a job in the construction industry. That's not even applied, that's just actually looked to see if there was anything they liked. So we need to support the industry, and that's us as in Berkeley Homes, in every way, so that we can actually keep our business going and offer a range of different avenues for those interested in gaining a career in construction. So there's some ideas of the type of things that we do. We've got apprenticeships, which I know is what we're here to talk about, but we also do other things as well, where we have trainees, we have work experience placements, sandwich placements. They're more university based, where you might have a year in between your courses. We have a go days, where you'll come and have a go for a day, and we also do site visits. So again, we can incorporate some of those if any of you are interested, and we'd love to hear from you. And there's some figures at the bottom, which are very much around our targets as Berkeley Homes. So we're aiming to have 10% of our employees to be an apprentice, graduate, or in informal training, and 10% of the contractor workforce. So with Berkeley Homes, we have those that are employed directly by us, And then we also have what's known as contractors, and it's where we might go to a contractor company who sources people to work for us, and it's what's called subcontracting. So just in case you weren't aware of what that meant. And obviously we want to engage with young people and inspire them, not just to join the industry, but to inspire them on their career journey as well. Next page, please.
Thank you. Got about 3 minutes.
Thank you. It won't be long, I promise. Okay. So while there aren't any concrete opportunities to apply directly for today, if you are interested in finding out more about the construction industry and apprenticeship opportunities, if you can let Deborah know afterwards, and what I can do is get my colleague Alice Hunt to give you a call, or whichever channel Deborah prefers, to get in touch with you, because she's actually our apprenticeship manager, and it's just unfortunate she couldn't be here today, but I just want to put that across while that's there. But we also, rather than just taking on historically focused apprenticeships, so that would be things like bricklaying, etc., we also now are looking at taking on apprenticeships in the construction site supervisors, for example, quantity surveyors and technical assistants. And if you go back to Deborah's slides from earlier, she did actually detail through some of the courses available, ones that would suit within there. Okay, let me just check. And on to the last slide, please. So basically, it's just to say thank you very much for listening. And if anyone's got any questions, I hope to be able to answer them, but if not, I will take note of them and pass them to my colleague Alice, who will then respond and give them to Deborah, the answers to Deborah to pass on to you.
I can't see any direct questions at the moment, so we maybe have some more for later. So we're going to move on to Danielle now. Are you able to unmute, Danielle? And I'll move on to your presentation.
Thanks, Deborah. Good afternoon, everyone. And I would like to just introduce myself as the Community Investment Manager representing the Wates Group today. A little bit about me as we kick off. I never envisioned I saw a career in the construction industry. I'll be quite honest with you. A woman in construction still to this day is something that is still a rarity. It's becoming a less large gap, and we're seeing more and more women come into the industry. But myself, 15 years ago, I definitely didn't envision myself in this career path. That being said, though, I would not change a thing at all. I absolutely love my job, and I'm really passionate in supporting the community and educating people to showcase just how great the industry of construction is. So the purpose of me being on the call today is to represent Wates Group, who are a large organisation, a very large organisation across the construction sector. We, as a group, turn over £4.5 billion per annum, and we have a national coverage across the UK. It's just come up asking me if I want to play music. No music is playing. Is that correct? Just a thumbs up for that. Okay, thanks, Terry. Thought for a minute there I got my DJ decks out. So representing the Wates Group today, I just want to give you some information around who we are and our apprenticeships and really what we do as a business. And we're really passionate young people into the industry. I won't repeat the stats that Christy gave around the skill shortage in the industry, but we are facing it. So as a business, we're really enthused to get anyone of any age into our industry through apprenticeship routes, post-graduation routes, anything of interest. Best part about my job is one day I'm delivering a careers talk to virtually to London South East colleges, and another day I'll be at Parliament talking around, you know, how we support ex-offenders getting into the industry post serving their time. So really my job is really diverse, and I get to meet with people across a number of different pathways every single day. Next slide, please, Deborah. So at Wates, we have a number of routes into our organisation, and one of the ones that are not on there today is actually our subcontractor supply chain route as well, which I'll touch on in a bit. So we have our apprenticeship routes, in which we advertise twice a year in a September and a January cohort. These are managed at group level, and these span across trade-based apprenticeships and also business focused apprenticeships such as quantity surveying, architecture, business admin, etc. So whether you see your career on the tools, you know, building the homes with those hands of yours, or actually behind the scenes in the office typing away and being more of a strategic role, we have all types of apprenticeships across construction. And I think that's something that's really exciting about our industry. We're not just an industry full of bricklayers and plumbers and electricians. As much as they're great, we also have so many other talented individuals that take a part in what it takes to build a building. We also offer year-out placements, so individuals that maybe are in between. Do they want to go to uni? Do they want to do an apprenticeship? Have they done something like that but they don't know where their next footing is? We also offer that opportunity, and we also offer graduates post-university the opportunity to come and actually get real-life work experience and start their career in the industry. We have over 50 early career opportunities nationally every year. Early Careers is the team that manages this, and then on the ground you have my role as community investment manager, additionally working with our supply chain to look at how we can support local roles and apprenticeships within the local boroughs. So for this and for interest of you guys from a geographical perspective, we're currently building a development down in Erith known as Park East. We previously have had other developments around the Erith area, and across that project we've seen across the latest project we've seen over 33 apprenticeships come through that development, as well as a lot of local jobs. So very, very proud numbers, and continuously they grow until we finish there in January to March time next year, depending on the scheme of works. Next slide please, Deb. Whether it's in a trade-based business supported role at an advanced BTEC, if it's a higher qualification or it's a degree, we have an apprenticeship through you. So wherever you are sitting within your academic position right now, maybe you've just done college, maybe you're thinking about college, maybe you've just done uni, there is really an opportunity for everyone. And maybe you've got a degree and actually you're wanting to change industries, that's also okay, because again, you'd be able to kind of move into a new industry and an exciting industry like construction. Thank you. Oh, we'll skip that part because we're doing that at the end. So I should hopefully be handing over now to one of my colleagues, Terry, who is representing today Buxton McNulty, which is an organisation that work directly with Wates as a supply chain member. So if I could pass the microphone over to you, Terry, virtually.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Terry McNulty. I'm Director of Buxton McNulty Mechanical Services. We specialise in pipe work, from mechanical installations and domestic installations, i.e. plumbers and pipe fitters and welders. I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. I originally started off as an apprenticeship. I've done a 4-year apprenticeship. I got my City and my Guilds, my MBQs. I then went on to my work with my employer. I've done further training and so on, and worked my way up from the very bottom all the way up to the very top, and now I run my own business. Buxton McNulty, we are currently working all around the area. We're working for Wates up at Park East, and we're doing plumbing stuff and mechanical installations. And we always take on apprentices from our local area. We've been trading for over 15 years, and we've been doing apprenticeships from when we began. And some of my very first apprenticeships are now project managers and have been trained and, you know, trained and grown up with me. So yeah, that's a bit about what we do. Yeah, if you come and get an apprenticeship, I personally would recommend it because it's what I've done. It was very good because you still get school type learning and you get real life learning. So the combination of both of them, it done great things for me, and I think it does. It suits the kind of way that the industry is going. We've got a couple of slides up. I'm totally winging this as I go along here, by the way, people. So there was a screen show that I should have been kind of reading or following, but I didn't. I just made it up as I went along.
That's fine, Terry. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't normally do this, so it's not,
that's right. Do you want me just to move them along?
Yeah, on the slides, it tells us a little bit about the company. There's, if you get you can go back and look about some of the questions that all the apprentices asked and all the people asked, and there are some basic answers. They'll give a bit better than I would explaining it. Yeah.
Thank you. I think it's great that you come and shared your experience, and that's really great. And thank you to Danielle as well. Brilliant. That's lovely. I think, are you happy if we move on to the next one?
Yeah, great. Thank you so much. We'll take questions hopefully at the end if there's any directed at Buxton or Wates.
That's brilliant. So we should be moving on to Sheila. And bear with me a second. There we go. If we've got Sheila there, if you want to unmute. I think I've just gone on one too many. There you go. There you go.
Okay, so can everybody hear me, see me, or see the screen at least? I'm assuming that's a yes. Yeah. So yes, I work for Bromley Healthcare, and really Bromley Healthcare says what it does on the tin. It provides healthcare. We are a social enterprise company, so we aren't the NHS, but we contract to the NHS. So what happens is, because we're a social enterprise company, if we have money left over at the end of a year, it all has to get ploughed back into improving our services. So it makes us think more creatively about how we create our services, so that we do have small surpluses each year to try and experiment and make our services better. We provide a range of community healthcare services. So what that means is that for the healthcare in general, there are almost three types. There's primary care, which is your GP and going to your GP service. There's secondary care, which is going to the hospital and A&E. And then there's our care, which is care in the community. So we provide community services to people of all ages, mainly in Bromley, but also in Bexley, Greenwich and Lewisham. And the sorts of services we provide district nursing, we provide community physiotherapy, OT to help people rehabilitate and get back to their working lives, or they're able to live their lives if they're not at work any longer. We do community dentistry for people with special needs that might need it. We do a sort of hospice service for children with learning disabilities. And we have 0 to 19 services, so services for children in things like health visiting. We have hospital at home teams that go into people's homes. We have to look after children with medical needs that don't need to go into hospital but need to be managed at home. We have also a range of different community nursing services like district nursing, but also our specialist nursing teams that work with people with long-term conditions like diabetes or respiratory problems, or with leg ulcers and issues like that. So a whole range of services that go out there, dietetics as well, helping people that need their diets managed, a whole range of services that we provide. But in order to provide that, we have to have a big backup service. So we have to have lots of people working in the background. I personally work in learning and development, so I oversee things like the apprenticeships that we run, but I also help to develop our staff to make sure that they've got all the skills they need to do the job. We have people working in HR. We have lots of administration services. We have a service called the CCC, which is the care centre, where people will phone in. Patients might phone in to have appointments changed, or where other health professionals might phone in to sort of follow up on referrals. So that's very much like the hub of where all of our services get arranged. We have services that support our managers. We have information services, IT services. So all of those services have to be functioning in order that our actual healthcare professionals can do the job that they do. And we also have assistants that aren't necessarily fully qualified healthcare professionals, but have lots of skills and expertise in assisting those professionals. So we have assistants working in healthcare assistants, we have rehab assistants, we have dietetics assistants, so a whole range of different assistants that help. And we have dental nurses as well that assist our dentists. So we have a whole range of different people working both directly in healthcare, but also in the sorts of support services. And if you look at the bits on the side, you can see we see lots of patients every year. Over 500,000 patients are seen every year. And we offer patients the best possible care that we can and get really high levels of patient satisfaction, because we really try to make our services the best that they can be. Next slide, please, Deborah. So what apprenticeships do we have? Oh, gone too quick. What sort of apprenticeships do we see or do we have in Bromley Healthcare? Well, we have a whole range, and you can see I've kind of divided them again into ones that support the services and those that are actually delivering the healthcare. Some of our apprenticeships are used to develop the staff we've already got. So when you join Bromley Healthcare, your learning can carry on with apprenticeships. So we've got lots of people doing leadership and management who are members of staff that are then doing that to develop their leadership and management skills. But we also hire people in on apprenticeships. So we've had people doing content production in for our IT, for our communication service. And I should just say, as a bit of an announcement, we're going to have an advert going out for, or that there will be, if people are interested in that, they can maybe contact me, because we're going to be having another apprenticeship to work with our communications team. We've had people coming in on the business administration, as we heard earlier from other people. We have people in our CCC doing the customer care practitioner. We have project managers. We have a whole range of IT apprenticeships. We have people doing service improvement apprenticeships, finance apprenticeships, and HR apprenticeships. Some of those are, as I said, for people that are already in our staff and are being developed, and some of them are people that we have hired in on an apprenticeship. On the other side, on the nursing side, or on the healthcare provision side, we have adult care workers, because we have a domiciliary service attached to us. So people that might need help with their personal care. So there's an adult care worker apprenticeship. There's a nursing associate apprenticeship, which is for people that are not just already assistants and want to become halfway between a registered nurse and a healthcare assistant. So if you do a 2-year course from a healthcare assistant, you can become a nursing associate, and then 18 months after that, you can do a top up and become a registered nurse. This year, we're hoping to look at some allied health professionals. So that's physiotherapists, occupational therapists. These are the professionals that help people rehabilitate and get back to a healthy life. We do special leadership courses for people working with adult care and in children's care. And we have advanced clinical practitioners for people that have become nurses and really want to specialise. But again, that's something that you can develop into. So once you join us, you can use apprenticeships to really develop your career right the way through to the very top, whether that's leading and managing a senior level or becoming a really advanced clinical practitioner. Lots of opportunities for different ways to shape your career, both clinically, if you're wanting to do more hands-on nursing or care type work, or if you want to work more in administration or in IT or in finance or HR. Next slide, please. So I thought what would be interesting is if I just give you 3 stories about apprentices that we've had. So these are 3 people who have joined us. I'm going to start with Kaya and Kaya's story. So Kaya joined our team in learning and development as doing a business administration. That was about an 18-month apprenticeship. It's 12 months to do the apprenticeship and then a few months later to do the endpoint assessment. But because of COVID, we had to put a little pause in for a while. So it ended up, instead of being just over the year, probably about 18 months in total. Kaya, on completion of her apprenticeship, has now joined us as a permanent member of staff and is a very much a valued and welcome person who's really made a difference to our team and has been a wonderful extra pair of hands to help us particularly now as well, because we've got lots of changes and the organisation has grown. So we've really needed her extra help. So Kaya joined us and moved from being an apprentice through to being now a permanent member of staff. James is somebody, she again went straight from James came straight from school, had done a little bit in retail, but really didn't want retail to be his profession. He'd done that as sort of on a Saturday job and had then picked it up a bit when he left school, but knew that wasn't what he wanted to do long term. So he did a customer care practitioner apprenticeship, and he works in our CCC, which is a bit like a call centre, working with both patients and health professionals, really helping to book appointments, answer patients' queries, help health professionals that are trying to refer into the organisation. And James was working on our district nursing desk and enjoyed it so much that he decided, particularly when he saw the challenges that COVID brought and how nursing made a difference to saving people's lives and making their lives much more worthwhile and help them to sort of see that they could really make a difference, James actually decided that actually nursing might be something that he wanted to go into. So we're currently working with James to give him some opportunities to work with our nursing teams to develop some skills with a view to training him internally so that he might be able to move across from an admin role into a healthcare assistant, and from a healthcare assistant to a nursing associate, and from a nursing associate to a registered nurse. So you can see that although he came in as a customer care assistant, we're already working with him to try and help him meet his career aspirations of actually being a nurse. And finally, I'm going to tell you about Madeline. Madeline was somebody who's recently joined us. She had done her A-levels last summer. Because of the whole kerfuffle around getting grades and how it was done differently to an exam situation, Madeline's results didn't come out exactly as she wanted them to. Didn't get into the university of her choice, and that made her think about what she wanted to do. So Madeline then saw an opportunity with us, which was to be a public health practitioner and to work on some really exciting public health projects in partnership with ourselves and with the public health department in Bromley and some of the other trusts like the Prue Hospital. So Madeline has now started a 3-year degree in public health, and she started that in January of this year. And at the end of it, she will be qualified to hopefully stay with us and work with us. But if she chooses to, can go and join a public health department and do a whole range of different things. So Madeline will get her degree with us without having to pay any of the fees, and she will get a job. So Madeline is earning as she learns and won't have a student loan at the end of it, but will in 3 years' time have a degree in public health. So I hope that kind of gives you a flavour of what we do, people that we take on and help to give them degrees, people that we take on and help them to shape their careers, even if it's different to where they started, and people who have started and want to carry on, hopefully with a permanent position, doing what they did as an apprentice. So that gives you a bit of a flavour. Next slide, please.
There we go.
So which apprenticeship will you choose? And whilst the choice is amazing, there are so many apprenticeships to choose from, if not necessarily entirely with us, but with all the other organisations you've heard about today, really think about what you enjoy doing. What makes a difference to you? What do you get a buzz from? Where do you think you've got some skills? What did you like most at school? What's the sort of things you like to do? Do you like to work with your hands? Do you like to work with people? Do you like the idea of caring? Do you like computers? Really think about what you've got that you enjoy doing, and there will be an apprenticeship for you. And the most important thing that I can say, anybody that's starting out on a career, do what you love, because you have to do your job for a long time. And I think from the people we've heard before, the thing that I've picked up from all of our speakers so far is that they've always loved what they've done. So if you can find an apprenticeship that really interests you and inspires you, and you think, oh, that would be good, go for it, because keep with it, see the apprenticeship through, and many times there'll be a permanent job waiting for you at the end of it.
Brilliant. Thank you, Sheila. That is great. So we're going to go on to Paul Hughes in a second for JTL. But before we do that, I'd love you to all just pop your cameras on a minute and just do me a quick wave. As many as you can. Let's just pop cameras on and see how many people, because I can't see many people, but literally if you can put your cameras on, that'd be brilliant. And I'm just going to go along and see if I can see some more people. It's just nice to see some faces. When we're talking and you can just see a screen, It's hard to see who's there. I can see a hand just waving. There's a few shy people. Pop your cameras on if you can, just for a minute. That would be brilliant. Fantastic. I'll just see if there's a few. I can still just see one hand. That's bizarre. Right, here we go. Paul, are you ready to do yours? Paul, are you there? You ready? I can see him, but I can't hear him.
Hi, sorry, I was having some trouble unmuting.
That's all right, that's fine. Right, there we go. The floor is open for you, Paul.
Excellent. So my name is Paul Hughes. I'm the Learner Assessment Manager at JTL Training. My job is to oversee a team of assessors that train and assess apprentices through their qualification. And we provide services to around about 10,000 apprentices across the country for electrical and plumbing. So what is an apprenticeship? As a lot of the guys have already gone through today, an apprenticeship is a government funded program that includes a paid job. So you're learning while you're on the job. Most of our courses are 1 day a week day release, like with our partners at London and South East colleges. The apprentices go into college 1 day a week and do their off the job training, if you like, which is on site at college. And then they spend the rest of the time at work on site doing their practical element. We guide them through their apprenticeship and make sure that they're getting the technical experience at college that they need and the practical experience on site. Apprenticeship is a nationally recognised qualification. So what that means is that once you've got this qualification, it's yours for life. It's recognised across the nation. It's a full MVQ level 3 that we deliver. And at the end of the apprenticeship, you obtain a full qualification in either electrotechnical or you become an electrician or a plumber. Apprenticeships also contain transferable skills modules. So this relates to what you may have heard called functional skills. The grade 4 in maths and English that you receive at school, they'll get you an exemption from the course, but if you don't achieve them, we can also deliver that as well as part of the apprenticeship. Apprenticeships are available to anyone aged 16 years or over. Our oldest apprentice, I think, that we've got on the books at the moment is 45. Our youngest is 16. There's an apprenticeship can be for anyone. So we have a lot of school leavers that come to us to do an apprenticeship. Same way we do have people in their 20s, 30s, or like I say, even 40s. So what are the benefits of an apprenticeship? Like I've already said, you earn while you learn. So it's not for everyone going to university. Some people, it doesn't suit them, doesn't suit their family life. It doesn't suit their personality to be studying all the time. With an apprenticeship, you can be doing 1 day a week at college. You can be doing 4 days a week on site. You'll get paid for the full 5 days. That's part of the apprenticeship law, if you like. That's not the right word for it, but that's part of what an apprenticeship is. You get paid for the full 5 days. You get paid for your day at college. You're on site learning skills, and you are earning while you are learning. Starting salary around 21k for electricians, but earnings up to 32k and beyond are possible. So what we advise to all of our employers that work with us, we advise the JIB pay rates, and they start off around £5 an hour. That goes up to about £7 in the second year, jumps up quite largely to £10.50 in the third year, and up to £11 for the fourth year. So it's quite a reasonable pay for a 16-year-old, and especially for someone who then enters their third year on £10 an hour. Some of our apprentices are earning really, really good money at that time. There's no debt at the end of an apprenticeship. If you enroll in an apprenticeship before you turn 19, there's absolutely no cost to the employer whatsoever. Otherwise, it's a 5% contribution, which works out about £900 to the employer. But anyone under the age of 19 there's no charge whatsoever. It's all government funded. JTL draw our funding down from the government in order to train you. So there's no cost at the end of it whatsoever. You gain valuable work experience and learn firsthand from experienced tradespeople. So I was an apprentice with JTL myself, and I had a really, really good experience in my apprenticeship. I worked with a lot of good electricians. I worked with a lot of different electricians and learnt from a lot of different people. Some friendships that you make for life. One of my best friends now, he's someone who I was an apprentice with. He's now got his own company. He employs about 8 people. He operates in the Windsor area. And yeah, we've both gone through a JTL apprenticeship, and we've both gone into different areas of the sector. So it's friends that you can make for life that you'll meet on an apprenticeship, and it's really invaluable experience working with a lot of different electricians, because it teaches you a lot of different ways to look at problems that you have, and a lot of different skills that you will learn from these different electricians. You'll also gain practical and theoretical knowledge as part of your studies. So like I say, when you're at college 1 day a week, you will be gaining the technical knowledge that you'll need for your qualification. The technical knowledge goes hand in hand with the practical skills. So you're learning these practical skills, and you are taking the technical knowledge that you learn at college and applying it on site, so that you can have a well-rounded and well-versed view of the electrical industry. University is still an option after an apprenticeship. So some of our apprentices, if they perform really well, they might go on to do a HNC. And I mean, the possibilities really are endless with it, to be honest. You can go on to do a degree. In my sector, where I'm working at the moment, there's a possibility for myself to go on and do a management degree. So it's kind of like the first stepping stone into the sector of the electrical industry. It doesn't necessarily mean that doing an electrical apprenticeship that you're going to be an on-site electrician your whole life, which is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Electricians are earning fantastic money at the moment, some of them up to about £60,000 a year. The industry is absolutely booming at the moment and crying out for electricians, but there's a lot of different routes to go with it. The entry requirements for an apprenticeship. In order to get onto an apprenticeship, we need you to pass the online assessment tests, which are on our website. When you create an account with us, you have to put your details in, and there's 2 online exams that you have to pass. There's multiple tests that we put you through to make sure that you're capable of coping with the course, but the 2 that are important are the maths and English. If you're struggling to pass these online exams, you absolutely struggle with the course. It's a level 3 course that you'll be doing, so it is difficult. It's the equivalent of 4 A levels. It's not an easy course to pass. That's why we have to make sure that we put you through these entry level exams. Now, we do offer additional support for those that need it, but again, there is still a base level requirement that we need to see these learners hitting before we can take them onto the scheme. Anyone that's got a grade C or grade 4 or higher in maths and English will be able to grant you an exemption so that you don't have to complete maths and English as part of your qualification. If you don't, then we can put you through the level 2 qualifications in maths and English as part of your apprenticeship. So these qualifications need to be achieved before the endpoint assessment is taken, which is usually in year 4. The endpoint assessment is the final exam that you take as part of your apprenticeship. Once everything else is done, you will then sit what we call the endpoint assessment. And what that is a 2 to 3 day exam, depending on where you take it, that tests your knowledge on a little bit of everything that you've done all the way through your apprenticeship. It's the final assessment opportunity. And assuming you pass that, that's when we sign you off and say that you're qualified. You'll need an employer before you start an apprenticeship, although you can apply before you have arranged one. So with JTL, if you apply on our website, you'll then be able to access our job application site, which once you're on there, you can apply for any of the jobs that we've got online. But probably about 90% of our apprentices come to us already with an employer. So they speak to a local electrician or local company or one of the bigger ones in London, and they then secure themselves an apprenticeship, and the employer or the apprentice will then come to us and say, we've got this apprentice we want to take on. Please, can we have a place at whatever college it needs to be? But like I say, there are opportunities on our website for you to apply once you've created an account with us. So the courses that we offer: electrical engineering level 3, plumbing and domestic heating, building services engineering, gas engineering operative, fire, emergency and security systems, and a property maintenance operative level 2. Electrical probably makes up about 75% of our business, plumbing probably around 15 to 20, and the other 4 on there make up the other 5 to 10% of our overall business. Electrical is by far our biggest business. Okay, so how do we teach at JTL? So we work across England and Wales. We're the whole of England, the whole of Wales we operate in. Main apprenticeship start dates are in September and January to coincide with college intakes, but we recruit throughout the year. So currently, at the moment, I've started the recruitment process for September. We've got our first 2 learners come to us for a September start now. So we do recruit throughout the year, but usually our intakes are in September and January. Teaching is either delivered as block release or day release format. So what this means is block release would be a 2-week block where the apprentice is in college Monday to Friday for 2 weeks solid, and then they go back to work and do 5 days a week on site. We have one college that we're currently partnered with in London that we deliver that. The rest of the colleges we work with, we do day release. That's 1 day on a college and 4 days a week on site. Each apprentice has an experienced training officer dedicated to supporting them through their apprenticeship. So a training officer is someone that oversees the training for that apprentice. It's a designated person that they work with. When I started at JTL, I started as a training officer, and that is the person that the apprentice will and the employer will be liaising with for the most part as they go through their training. They're training officers, but they're also assessors. So we're all qualified electricians or plumbers, and they'll come out to see you on site and assess your work to make sure that it's being done safely and to a competent standard. All apprenticeships will develop a portfolio of their work over the course of their apprenticeship. So one of the good things about JTL is that we take the difficulty of a portfolio out of the apprentice's hands. We manage the portfolio on the apprentice's behalf. All we ask for is that when we ask to see a certain type of work, that we work with the employer and the apprentice to make that happen. We manage the portfolio part of it. It's something that can be quite complicated for apprentices. We've got a range of work that we need to see covered, and we'll explain what we need to see and work with the employer and the apprentice and make sure we're always communicating all the way through the apprenticeship to say what we expect to see, when we expect to see it, and if there's any issues, hopefully we can flag it up before it becomes one. Okay, so how to apply to JTL? You can apply online to JTL. I can put the website link in the chat for everyone. It's very, very simple. You apply it. There's a button if you have got an employer. There's a button if you haven't got an employer. And you can apply on our website, sit the online exams, as we say. And best options for individual. Oh, sorry. Thanks, Deborah. The best options for individuals looking to apply is to find an employer first. So a little bit like I said earlier, 90% of our apprentices come with an employer. Tips on how to find an employer can be found on the JTL website. Very briefly, what I did when I was looking for an apprenticeship was to go to, well, it was Yellow Pages in them days, but if you go to yale.co.uk, type in your postcode, look for local electricians, and look, just contact all of them, make a cover letter, make a CV. Trying to stand out from the crowd is the best bit of advice I can give to someone who's looking for an apprenticeship. Try and volunteer, see if you can work through the summer with a local electrician, get a bit of experience, even if it means not getting paid for it. A lot of companies will pay you for the day, but if not, it gives you that bit of experience you can put on your CV. If you're sure you want to do an apprenticeship, that's probably the best way to go about it. So our website there is www.jtltraining.com. You can also find us on Facebook and on Twitter. But if anyone wants to know any more, they can drop a question in the chat. I'll be happy to answer it. I think that's the last slide.
Thank you, Paul. So we're going to do an open kind of session now on questions and answers, and we're going to go to the chat box and go through some of the questions. On the call, we've got some of the employers that have been speaking are on the call. We've also got Nina Sayan, who's from LSEC, as our business development manager as well, and we've also got some of our key account managers as well. So there may be some questions that they would answer. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and ask you just to pop your cameras on, keep on mute at this time if you can, and we'll just go through some of these questions and share them with you. So if I go back up to the beginning, in terms of questions that we've had come through. So we've got a question that's come from Stacey, which is regarding Bromley Healthcare. She'd really like some information, if that's possible, Sheila, more of that information. So if I ask, if Stacey emails into our apprenticeship email, then we can forward that message across to Sheila for you. In terms of, she's interested to be a healthcare assistant, if that's okay. We've got Monica that's asked about accounting apprenticeships. Nina, do you want to say a little bit about accounting, because we haven't covered that in the call?
Yeah, we've got accounting apprenticeships, which are actually starting this month. We've got employers with vacancies currently looking for accounting apprentices. So my team go out, talk to the employers that want to take on apprentices. We come back with the actual job description and advertise them on the National Apprenticeship Service site, but it's also advertised on the LSEC site. So the accounting programs all vary. The level 2 varies and the level 3. So level 2, we're talking about, just correct me, Deborah, is about 15 months, 18 months for level 2. Yeah. And then the level 3 is slightly longer. But it's a great career to get into accounting. You learn so much about payroll, bookkeeping, processing and account invoices and everything else. So if that is something of an interest, by all means, email us in the apprenticeship at LSEC box, and my team will pick it up and invite you in for pre-screening. And once we've pre-screened you, we'll then start getting you out to the employers for interviews.
Brilliant, thank you, Nina. We then got a question from MS who says, Deborah, can you please elaborate on level 3 motor vehicle and the entry requirements? Have we got Alfred on the call?
Alfred, yeah, Alfred is on the call.
Can you just elaborate a little bit about motor vehicle, Alfred? If not, maybe Kiara, would you like to say a bit about motor vehicle?
Sorry, just taking myself off mute.
Thank you, Kiara.
Yeah, we do motor vehicle standards. What was the question? Sorry, Deborah.
So really,
to know a bit more.
The level 3 motor vehicle and the entry requirements.
The entry requirements, there aren't any entry requirements as such. We will do an assessment with you for English and maths. If you don't have a grade 4 or above, then we would ask you to do functional skills as part of your apprenticeship. But if you have that already, then you don't need to do functional skills alongside it. Yeah, you would need an employer. Alfred, who's in our business team, can help with matching you with employers if you're interested in finding out if there are any employers available. We've just taken a new intake in January. Our next intake will be in September. So by all means, message us and we will help you to find the right employer. or match you with the right employer wherever we can.
Okay. And then we've got Charlotte asking if she can contact you, Sheila. Again, Charlotte, if we ask if you email into the apprenticeship inbox, we'll forward that message across to Sheila directly. That would be brilliant.
Thank you.
So we've also then got, Crystal's asked, when do we find out when we get accepted into the college? So when they've done an application. Nina, could you answer that one?
So for the process for the apprenticeship is very much like I explained earlier, you know, we have the vacancies, we'll bring you in, we'll pre-screen you for the actual apprenticeship, and then we will complete all of the paperwork, which is done through the talent pool team. Once the talent pool team have done that, the recruitment advisors will pick you up, do a quick interview just to make sure you're aware of the vacancy. We will then send the CVs to the employers, who will then shortlist for interviews, and then you'll go for interviews. So once you've been for interviews and the employer's happy and you're successful, you will start your job first. You'll start employment with the employer. You'll have a contract of employment with the employer, because of the apprenticeship is a job. Okay, it's a full-time job. Once you've started your full-time job, my team will then come in and enroll you onto the program. And then we, from the delivery team, we have a start date for every program. So the next intake for motor vehicle will be August. And what we'll do is we'll do all the paperwork. You'll start your induction with the team and your first day of learning. And once you've done that, you've actually started at the college. And then you can then got the perks of applying for NUS cards as well, where you get student discount as well once you're on the apprenticeship program.
Brilliant, Nina. And then just following on from Hina, I'm willing to apply for an apprenticeship in adult care worker or health care assistant. Can you guide me briefly about the whole process?
So the process is always the same, no matter which sector you go. You'll always have the pre-screening. You'll come and meet us first. We'll check your eligibility requirements. We'll check your PLR. We'll do your BKSB, Maths and English. Again, the talent pool team will pick that. Once we've done that, CVs will go to the recruitment advisors, and then from the recruitment advisors to the employers, who will interview you. And then once you've started your job, you've got a contract of employment, we'll then come in and enroll you. We have got quite a few vacancies actually in the health and social care currently. So if you are interested, email at the apprenticeship box and we'll be in touch with you to bring you in and to get you pre-screened and ready for interviews.
Brilliant. And James also asks, Nina, hello, is there a production chef apprenticeship?
Yes, there is. We have got some more vacancies in production chef as well. Hospitality sector at the moment has got the biggest skills gap going. So hospitality, if you want to work in hospitality, by all means, email us on ALSEC, apprenticeships@ALSEC, and we can get you into the hospitality sector. And you can start off with food production, and you can move around within that sector. If you think about hospitality, it's quite a big business. They'll have a finance department. They've got like your catering department. They'll have like the front end reception. We've got hospitality team leaders, so you can actually move in that business and grow within that business. So again, if you want to work in our sector, let us know. We'll be more than happy to identify employers for you.
And thank you, Nina. And a question for Paul. MS would like to know, would you be able to suggest any good employers in the electrical industry? Probably can suggest a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. So T Clark's is one. Balfour Beatty is another one. Phoenix M&E, some of the larger ones in London. Essex Electrical, another one. KH Engineering, they're another company we work with. It's a little bit unfair to some of the smaller companies just to give these large names, because we work with some fantastic small one-man band employers as well. But like I said earlier, your best bet is going to be to just look for every local electrician within 5 to 10 miles of yourself and just apply to all of them. Speak to them and see what sort of feeling you get from them. And if they're serious about it, they'll put you forward for an apprenticeship with JTL.
Brilliant, thank you. And following on from that, Daniel asks, how many plumbing apprentices are Wates and Berkeley group taking on? So that would be for Danielle. And first off.
Yeah, thank you, Debbie. So the short answer is that our plumbing contractor has fulfilled their commitment. That would be Buxton McNulty. However, that said, there isn't an opportunity for us to not explore that further. Buxton McNulty, obviously a large subcontractor working across a lot of Wates sites and other main contractor sites. I don't know if Terry's still on the call. Oh, he is. Sorry, I was talking on behalf of you, Terry. So, but from a Wates perspective directly, our Park East site only has until January in duration. So we were looking with Buxton's about fulfilling their commitments. About 6 months ago, so that obviously that their apprentices had a good amount of time left on the site. So from our perspective, we wouldn't be looking at Buxton's to necessarily place on that site, but I can't speak for them if they've got other opportunities that they could circulate.
Okay.
Yeah, we have opportunities. We take on apprenticeships every year because obviously we work locally and we work uptown. So yeah, we'll be, if anyone's looking for a plumbing apprenticeship or a building services engineers apprenticeship, if they could just apply on the website, and yeah, all the details are on the leaflet that we sent in earlier.
That's brilliant, thank you. Just looking through the rest of the questions, and bear with me a second. Can you do 2 apprenticeship courses at the same time? I can answer that directly. No, you can't. You can only specialise in one at a time. But what you will find in some of our apprenticeship standards is that there may be an underlying qualification underneath it. So absolutely, you probably wouldn't want to do more than one, even if you could, to be fair, because apprenticeship qualifications are quite big, meaty qualifications, and they will take you into industry. So let's just have a look at any others. Am I missing any? In terms of contact info on hair and beauty, I'm just going to share my screen in a minute again, which is that apprenticeship email, which is the apprenticeships@lsec.ac.uk. If you email asking there, we can send you the information about hair and beauty as well. In terms of hair, we do level 2 professional hair, which is the industry standard for hairdressing currently. And again, if you have a salon, that's great. And if you don't, then the team will be able to help you to find one. Just looking at this one. Samir asks, do you let students go to Queen Elizabeth Hospital for apprenticeships? Nina, can you help with that?
The NHSs do their own apprenticeships. We do work with some NHSs where we are working with them to recruit apprenticeships as well. So, but I also am aware the NHS have got a whole website where they actually recruit advertise their own apprenticeships. So if that's something you're interested in, drop me an email on the apprenticeships@lsec.ac.uk inbox. And then what I will do is I'll respond to you with the links to where you can apply for the NHS apprenticeship programs.
Can I just add something in there? Am I on mute?
Yeah, no, you're fine, Sheila.
No, okay. Queen Elizabeth Village, that's part of Lewisham Hospitals Trust, and if you also go onto the Lewisham Hospital site and look on their vacancies, that's where you'll see if they'll also advertise it there as well. If they do often, Lewisham often go out for nursing associates as well. So if you want to go on that sort of role, which is a registered, halfway to being a registered nurse, they often do. Lewisham often have nursing associate recruitment across the year.
I think the next one is thank you for that, Sheila. I think the next one is for Paul. Are there any electrical installation level 1s for over 19 years of age?
So electrical installation only starts at level 2. There is no level 1. There absolutely is courses at the level 2 grade for over 19s. And like I said earlier, apprenticeships are for anyone of any age. But it's just that the funding is slightly different. There's a 5% contribution required from the employer, but it equates to £900 across the 4 years. Just about 225 per year that would be billable to the employer.
Thank you, Paul. And then there's a message for you, Paul, which is from Adam. He says, I've applied to JTL for an apprenticeship as I've got a possible employer to start when my school finishes. My dad left a message with JTL around about 2 weeks ago. I think, Adam, Paul, is it possible that you could just confirm your email so Adam can email?
Yeah, I've just put my email in the chat there. If you just drop me an email.
JTL, brilliant, thank you.
Late this week.
Brilliant. We've done that one. Have we? How many plumbing apprentices are Wates and Berkeley Homes taking on? I think we've done that one currently.
Berkeley Homes, I don't think got to give that their
Thanks, Danielle. I can't give an answer, but what I can do is pass that question to our apprenticeships manager, Alice, tomorrow, and get her to email you, Deborah, with the answer to that and any contact details for anyone wanting to talk to her.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Chrissy. And again, if anyone's got questions for Chrissy, we can forward them on directly as well. Are there any good motor vehicle companies? Nina, do you want to reply to that one?
Yeah, we've got plenty of motor vehicle company. We've just started 28 motor vehicle apprentices this year, and they're all small mechanic motor vehicle garages. So they're always keen to take on apprentices. So if that's something you're interested in, then just send us an email. But also keep an eye on our website. On our website, we also advertise the vacancies. So you'll see all the motor vehicle vacancies. So there will be intakes coming in soon, because we'll be looking at doing looking at intakes for our August start. So if motor vehicle is your passion, again, just email us at apprenticeships@alsec, and we can share those vacancies with you when you come into pre-screen. So that's what my team do. They normally share all the vacancies we have, so you have an opportunity to go for the ones that you want to go for. So yeah, give us a shout and we'll be able to support you.
Brilliant. And a question for Terry. This comes from Patrick. Can you have the link for the website for your business? I don't know if you'd be able to just pop that in the chat box in terms of your business website.
Yeah, of course, I'll put it in the chat box.
Brilliant, thank you. Nina, this is an interesting one. Are there any locksmith apprenticeships?
Not one we've looked at.
Not that we do currently, but there are.
Not the one we've looked at and do currently, but you know, we're more than happy to see if there's any providers. But as an apprenticeship organisation, the best site to go on if you want to know what kind of apprenticeships are available, just to get an idea, is the Institute of Apprenticeships. Every apprenticeship program that we delivered has got their improvement and their stamp on it. So if you want to see what's out there and what apprenticeships you're interested in, I would highly recommend that. What I'll do is I'll put the link in the chat and you can pick it up from the chat and go on that site and have a look as well.
And do you offer work placement apprenticeship for someone who has a qualification but no work experience?
Yes. We do traineeships. Traineeships focused on the 16 to 24 age bracket. And what we do is we run a generic program where it supports them with their interviewing skills, employability skills and everything else. But what I do like about apprenticeships is that 70 hours work experience. So employers give you access to work experience for 70 hours. So it gives you an opportunity to test the industry, whether you want to work in that industry or not. And if you go on traineeships and you're successful there and the employers really like you, they actually convert into apprenticeship programs. An apprenticeship program is all about giving people opportunity to get a job within the sector they want to work with. So you don't have to have work experience. We do encourage it through traineeships just to give you an opportunity to work with employers and see what the world's about. But within apprenticeship, you don't have to have work experience. That whole work experience and skills knowledge will come through when we actually put you onto the apprenticeship program with that employer.
Brilliant. And I think the Dabs asked, do you have any IT apprenticeships? I don't know if one of your CAMs can explain IT, Nina?
Hadley, are you on the call?
I am indeed. Yeah, of course, IT is always an interesting sector. It's ever growing. It's one of those that if it's your cup of tea, you're going to absolutely love it. In terms of the route it will take you, there's 3 specific pathways. In the chat, it's got the Institute of Apprenticeships, and you'll be able to break down each pathway specifically that you might want to go down. It's an 18-month program. It's intense. But like I said, if you've got a passion for IT, service desk and that sort of route for the future, it's 100% worth it. And I think you'll have a really enjoyable time. In terms of the way it's delivered, it's part virtual and then part in person, subject to COVID. I know regulations are changing every day. So as a safe bet for now, I'm going to say it's virtual. But if you are interested in it, please drop us an email and we'll be more than happy to get back to you and see what we can do to help.
Brilliant.
The other one we deliver, Hadley, is digital marketing, which is a big one for us as well, isn't it, Hadley?
It is. In terms of one of our more popular ones, it's digital marketing is definitely the way forward. As just imagine anything you're looking at, even through to the presentation that we're receiving right now, it's all part of marketing material. If you've got a creative mind, you're going to love it. Each business has its own unique twist, and we're quite fortunate to work with an array of businesses that vary from small, medium and large employers that have their own department that they would love to kind of build you up and settle you into. Again, delivery, similar to IT, is mainly run out of Bromley if it is going ahead. But again, subject to circumstances, it can change. And of course, we take that always into consideration.
I think one of the last ones we've now got is, I think it's Maya's asking, do we have any apprenticeships in childcare?
Do we have apprenticeship in childcare? I have so many apprenticeships in childcare. I just need candidates to apply. So please apply at apprenticeships@alsec.ac.uk, and literally we'll be on the phone tomorrow to call you in, because I've got some fantastic positions available at this moment in time. And my CAMs are forever bringing vacancies in. That industry is forever looking for apprentices. So by all means, please contact us, send us an email tonight and we will be in touch with you tomorrow morning to call you in.
Brilliant, great. And I think there is one more that I've just seen. Which colleges are quantity surveying courses offered, and when are Berkeley and Wates recruiting? If we start with Nina first, because you can just update about quantity surveying.
So our next quantity surveying technician intake is in September, and it's delivered in, just confirm, Deborah, is it Holly Hill or Bromley, or is it split between the two campuses?
Holly Hill.
Holly Hill. Okay, and it's delivered by Holly Hill by an amazing lecturer that we've got, Elizabeth, and she's fantastic at delivering the quantity surveying, and it's one of those programs that you really will get a lot of experience and knowledge from that apprenticeship program.
Danielle, do you want to say, or Chrissy, about quantity surveying?
Yeah, so we do an intake for quantity surveying apprenticeships twice a year, both in September and January. So our advertisements will go out around the May time, April, May. So definitely keep your eye out for the Wates website. That's wates.co.uk, and I'll put that in the chat. And our early careers team that manages that process at Group, they will be starting to set up the assessment centre from May with the intake for September. And then again, it starts in October, November for the January intake.
Brilliant. Chrissy, do you want to add anything?
I believe that we've got similar to Wates 2 annual intakes, but what I'll do, I'll get Alice to confirm those if that's okay, rather than give false information.
Brilliant, that's great. And Nina, are there any technical engineering apprenticeships, please?
Yes, ALSEC is delivering the engineering level 2 operative. We've just started a small cohort this month, but it's a new area for us and we're building that up. So we're building strong relationships with employers currently for engineering operative, but yes, we do engineering.
And for healthcare assistant apprenticeship, relevant qualification and experience is necessary or not?
No, we will, they will, through the apprenticeship program, they'll get the qualification experience they require for that apprenticeship program.
Brilliant, great. I think we've pretty much covered all of the questions. If you do have any more questions, I'm just sharing the screen with the apprenticeship email, so please email that apprenticeship. I just want to say a really big thank you to all of you attending on the call, but mainly I want to say a really big thank you to those employers today that have given up their time to come on the call with us. So would you mind just opening up your microphones and giving them all a big thank you by a clap, please? Really is an appreciation for all of you. They've helped us to make this event real, because actually without the employers being on the call, you know, we can talk an awful lot, can't we, Nina, about apprentices and how it works, but actually without the relevant employers, it doesn't make the experience so real. So I just hope that this has been able to inspire you all and give you some more information about apprenticeships. But thank you to all of you. Thank you to all the employers. Thank you to our fabulous apprentice, Rihanna, as also for being brave. We should give her a clap as well.
Thank you, well done, Rihanna.
It's quite hard to come on a call with all of these people, but keeping to time, we've got almost 3 minutes left. But thank you so much for attending and have a really good evening. Brilliant. Thank you. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila.